being planted. Meteos, we'll keep our eye on Meteos, see which way he levels this one actually, because we did see the ultimate being leveled, being evolved by Insect earlier on as his first. It is going to be the wings.
Yeah, so he will be able to get resets in the team fights whenever if someone dies actually, so that's good for him. If we look here at Yasuo, we actually have a Vampiric Scepter as the first item for some sustain. Normally you see the early static shift, so you have this upfront burst early on, but he won't have it this time around. He's delaying it a little bit, but now Wukong closing in. There is a ward though, so Sports will spot him out.
Yeah, Dragon Descent also available. Just going to use that burnout to run away and actually stand and stare at Ruo, saying, yeah, you dare come to my top lane, I'll keep you at bay. Mid lane, we still see Zukim. He has started to develop a bit of a CS advantage over High because he went for that roam. Didn't get the kill, only got the assist, which means Zukim at the moment has himself a small advantage.
And he should be able to just keep farming here, but High will also be able to wave clear. The more levels you get on Gragas, the better yard wave clearing. And also with the blue buff, he can just constantly put out the barrels, clear the waves. Down bot lane though, the fact that Sneak is actually ahead in CS is very impressive. Him and Elimination together, and with the gang from Meteor, has been doing a very good job of pressuring Wei Xiao because he didn't have the flash early.
So Ruo is going to be taking the blue buff for himself. That's not going to be gifted across to Zukim, so we'll see if he makes use of that refresh on the Cyclone, which is available. I'm expecting this bottom lane gank may well be coming shortly.
And if he can actually sneak down there's no ward in the bushes, so if he can actually get in range, he will be able to at least follow up for Tibbers. But once again, binding, the Tormented Soil, and then the Boomerang Blade from Sneaky.
Yeah, and half the hit points shredded off him. He does have Flash and Barrier back available to him, though, Wei Xiao, and he will continue that farm. And like you said, Sneaky, keep it up in farm. Silver against Caitlyn is impressive on its own. The fact that it's Wei Xiao is even more impressive.
Yeah, Caitlyn normally is the pick you want to have against Sylvian lane because you have such a long range advantage that you can just constantly poke her away. But they've just been doing a very good job. And again, credit to Elimination this Morgana, landing so many bindings.
Zukim maybe trying to be baited in here. Instead, it's the top lane that it seems that Meteos is heading for. Going to be looking towards that red buff. You can see Zukim though keeping that farm at High. Starting to respect him a little bit here. He knows the damage that Yasuo has, but Meteos, he's looking to go. Dominus already used on the tower.
So we will see actually if Samei decides to back off. Once he sees Meteos, he's actually staying for now. They can go for this one.
They're going to wait on this one. Dragon Descent is available. They need the minions there. Ruo does react to this one. Meteos shows himself a little early. High and Zukim still continuing to just pounce back and forward in that mid lane. Still the big advantage for Zukim in terms of farm, and he's still continuing to get that aggression on High, using that wind wall to make sure no barrels roll towards him.
Yeah, look how fast he puts it in, and when he puts it right in front of Gragas, he actually stops the ultimate as well, because he will fly into the wall and gets completely just destroyed. So there's no chance here for High to actually do anything back to him and knock him into the turret or anything. We need to see some aggression from Wukong though. He's level 7, we haven't actually seen a gank, despite him having his ultimate and having so strong ganks now.
And this is actually a reverse to what we're used to seeing from WE. They tend to go crazy aggression. Doesn't always happen from objective control either. They tend to just pile in for them kills. We saw it with IG earlier on. Meteos is going to flash away from this one, uses that ultimate to get that invisibility, hasn't leveled it up yet. Zukim's going to flash for this one, he's going to go deep, he will get the kill, the Ignite's going to run, it's an easy kill. Zukim now, oh, Windwall's not going to work out, and High comes in, straight counter, explosive cask finishes the deal.
So Zukim actually couldn't pop his ultimate onto Meteos because of his stealth. He popped in when he got knocked up there, so very good play by him, and it simply meant that Zukim had to dive in, High could come in for the revenge kill, and now Cloud9 picking up a kill. Yes, they lost Meteos, but High now got an early kill, and that's very good for him.
Barrel landing on Ruo as well, forces him away from this one. Dragon, a potential here. Meteos is back alive and heading straight towards it. Ruo's going to take them wolves to try and get some of that lifesteal back. It seems that Cloud9 won't go for this one. Balls has had a bit of a trade with Cao Mei in this top lane. Cao Mei has just returned from Bayern, which is why he's been very healthy. Neither are making a move towards this Dragon, which is got Elimination clearing the pink wards.
As Elimination getting a little bit of vision control here for Cloud9. There's still 2 wards left though from WE, so they need to clear them out if they want to go for this Dragon. Otherwise, WE will be able to react, come in there, join the fight, and then it can be very scary against this very strong combo at the moment for WE with Wukong, of course, with Renekton, and also Yasuo, despite him actually needing a few items and delaying. Again, he's a little bit behind in items compared to normally when you see the early static shift.
Cao Mei continuing to bully Balls in his top lane. Using Dominus against that Dragon Descent, both are about to wear out, but Balls is sticking around here. This is dangerous, dangerous play against Cao Mei, who is fully stacked and ready to go.
But look who's moving up here. High is coming up from base. They might want to try and bait Xiaomei to actually dive forwards, and then High is there, joins in and picks off the kill on for him.
He takes the bait, but is it too early? I think it is. Balls is going to go down, and now, well, High comes in, but I don't think he's got the damage. Explosive cast gone towards Xiaomei. Xiaomei is looking to get that slice and dice, waiting for the minions to come in. High has got him. He's got his number, but, well, Balls risked it a little too much.
And now two members from Cloud9 were up in the top lane. It means WE can move towards this dragon. Pink ward clears out the ward from Cloud9. The vision is now gone, except for the ward they just put into the dragon pit here, but should be a dragon for WE, so they instantly react here. And the fact that Cloud9 lost Balls up in the top lane simply means WE wins out.
Instant objective control, but High's still pushing that top lane turret, so they may try and gain something back from it. Not too sure he's got the minions to take it this time around. He will have the next wave if he wants to stick around, which he's going to do. And we see Meteos, he's covering off that mid lane, so he's keeping Sukim away from that mid turret.
Meteos is doing really well in farming as well. Now with some solo XP, very good for him actually. He's going aggressive here.
Well, he's going to go aggressive. Has he got enough? I'm not too sure. Sukim does keep him at bay, and you can see Meteos had to put a lot into it. He actually counters Kha'Zix fairly hard. Of course, that force, I think it's called, is it the force of the wind or whatever the hell it is that builds up, just counters him quite hard.
And now, High moving actually back to mid lane. He took the top turret with the minions here, so very good move from him after getting the kill onto Renekton. Smart by him. They did lose the dragon, however, but they have 500 gold ahead in this early game. And we talked about how strong WE are early on, so it's very good to see Cloud9 actually doing so well. And with this Morgana pick, when we get to team fights, if we can get some very good black shields from elimination, making sure that a key target is not getting locked off or CC'd, Cloud9 might be able to turn it around and actually win the fights.
Quick win wall from Sukim, dashes away from that one, not letting High anywhere near it. This bottom lane, we haven't seen a great deal of it for a while, and actually has gone fairly quiet. Despite the early pressure elimination was pulling down, it's still kept fairly even between the two.
Very even, and that's just fine for Cloud9 because Sivir, you just want to get the early farm here against this Caitlyn, so very good, and going aggressive again.
Wei Xiao caught out, he's going down. Finally they managed to get the kill on it. It's Elimination that actually picks it up with the Tormented Soil. Irony.
But once again, the bot lane from Cloud9 are doing everything correct against Wei Xiao here. They punish him every single time, and now they even got a kill. Yes, onto elimination, but it's still a kill.
But in terms of difference between the two, I feel his gold must be quite considerably high. Yesterday he's got almost 1,000 gold more because he got that Spell Thief's Edge early on. He's been keeping that pressure on. We see that Conan has picked it up, but he's very late doing so. So he's not really going to benefit too much from it.
Actually, if I recall correctly, Conan started with the Spell Thief, but it's a lot easier for Morgana to get the stacks down because you just put down your Tormented Soil early, where Annie actually has to either use a spell or auto tag onto you to proc it.
Yeah, just looking at the difference between the two, it's almost 200 plus more gold that Elimination's picked up with that Spell Thief. Of course, he upgraded it as well, which is a 500 gold investment, which kind of levels itself out, actually.
And we actually need to see if Elimination wants to keep it or if she's going to sell it after the laning phase, upgrade into or buy a talisman instead, which benefits the team more with the utility, with the move speed, also really helps him on Morgana. We need to see what he's doing with the item later.
Pressure on this mid lane turret, all of Cloud9 rotating in there. They're going to try and take it down as quick as possible. Meteos tanking it out, doesn't fancy it when three members of WE show up. We also see that Xiaomei is making his way down here. That's actually leaving Balls to just free farm in the top lane.
And for Balls, it's just a matter of time before he hits the point where he can kill Renekton, and WE didn't know this, so that's why they possibly could try and set something up here. They have a very good combo for fighting in the mid game. Very strong engage, a lot of CC and also a lot of damage, and of course Renekton, he's the best bruiser you can get in the mid game. So if they can set something up around the dragon or in the mid lane here, it would be very good for them.
This is very steady play from both these teams, and honestly, I feel it kind of falls into Cloud9's favor. I think they're finding themselves their feet here, feeling a little bit confident. We see the Zhonya's Hourglass now completed by High. Meanwhile, Static Shiv only just been completed for Sukim.
And that's the thing we have to remember. We talked about it back at level 1, how the WE lineup is full physical except for Annie. This simply means for Cloud9, as long as they can stack armor, the later they go into the game, the harder it is for WE to actually kill them. And that's also why we see the very early Zhonya's here, also to stop some of the damage from Yasuo if he should jump onto High.
That wind wall, we saw how effective it was earlier on in the day for Invictus Gaming. Z-Type doing wonders with it, keeping, actually was a Gragas at bay, it was a Peke's Gragas, and he's doing exactly the same thing. Dark Binding was blocked as well as the barrel.
And we see Meteos, he involved his ulti now as the second thing, so you want to take less damage when he pops it. And Cloud9, they just want to pressure this mid turret and they want to get it down.
Sukim, aggressive defensive work there, up against three members of Cloud9. They weren't quite expecting now, I feel. And High, little mana left. I feel may well back away from this one. The rest of Cloud9, we do see Meteos try and rotate around the side. May well look to go for a gang.
And if they can actually move up here with the minion wave, kill the turret, and then start the fight, it's very good for them. And we actually see balls closing in here, attempting to go in behind maybe.
Cyclone Flash, but it's not going to work out too well for them. Lemonation's going to pop that ultimate. Will he go down in time? No, he does proc off just in time. Gets the Dark Binding on towards Ruo. Reset comes in for Meteos, but it's going to be WE that follow through. Explosive Cask forcing Sneaky to be defensive. Balls trying to go aggressive on towards Wei Xiao. Wei Xiao taken so low. Balls is going huge right now. All over them. Suki managed to get taken down. He does get the knockup, but they have no follow through. There's going to be Sneaky doing all the damage from the backside. Balls still alive. Sneaky gets dived on. Salme gets one. Cannot get the second. High pops and Sonya's hourglass just at the critical time, and I believe it was a 3-for-1.
And such a risky engage by WE. Wukong pops his ultimate and then he flashes in, and it simply means they collapse onto elimination. The support used just gave up a free dragon as well to Cloud9 here, and the team fight again. They engage very questionable onto elimination, pile all the damage onto the support, and didn't even kill him in the first place. So very risky play by them, very questionable play, and it could be actually the issue for WE. They don't know exactly what to do when they don't win early.
Actually what we saw Fnatic doing earlier on today as well, piling on towards that support, not really focusing on the right targets as it is WE. They're going to chase. This is what we've seen them do. You talked about it. Once they lose that aggression, they'll actually counter it with more aggression.
Yeah.
They'll go full on aggression. And sometimes they'll just go on a heavy tilt.
They want to fight, they want to engage onto you. Cloud9 with break wave here, with the Gragas, with the Sivir, making it very hard for them, even though they have 5 members to actually push up the wave to even get to the turret. They couldn't. There's always the risk of Morgana popping ultimate, hitting a binding onto you, and then the rest of Cloud9 just piles onto you. Look at the combo here for them. A binding from elimination, followed up by the ulti from high, shoots someone back into the team, into the face of Meteos, gets the kill, gets the reset, and then WE just have to back off. So very hard for them to actually do anything here, unless they can get the perfect engage and not onto elimination.
Blue invade for Cloud9. We do see Salme coming in there though, and I think that's going to be quickly defended by WE. It will be given across. Will Ruo take this one? He has taken the last few, so I'm expecting he wants to. Oh, Boomerang Blade does come out and lands nicely on towards Ruo. They don't get that blue buff. But again, all this pressure being forced from Cloud9 does buy Balls more time on that top lane. In terms of farm, he's almost caught up with Salme.
He's basically just doing what he can do on Shyvana, because as long as he keeps farming, he will keep getting stronger and stronger. We saw him in the last team fight, how he just 1v1 Wei Xiao, just jump onto him, killed him. And ultimate actually coming down from high here, trying to zone away WE.
Quickly caught, but look at that, Dark Binding on Conan, quickly counters it, and Cloud9 keep that pressure pressured on towards the tower. That's what pressure generally does. We see Balls going down there with the Burning Agony, and again, they keep on pushing towards that tower. Dark Binding land on Wei Xiao, that would have been a kill, but Cyclone comes out. That's going to be catching all of Cloud9 out. They're bouncing in the air. They will get Ruo down, but can they follow through on towards it? Salme gets aggressive, but he's just being controlled by the Dark Binding. Up in the top lane, we see Meteos. He got himself the kill on towards Sukin. Ruo also went down all early on. It's actually a 2-for-1 for Cloud9, and they run for their lives.
And once again, WE goes in. Sukim, he pops his ultimate onto Shyvana this time. So now we had elimination and now Balls. The support and the tank, they need to do more of this Yasuo ultimate. They need to hit the squishy targets. Renekton, he's always going in to the backline. He's tanking everything and doing a very good job. They might be able to get this turret here because Wei Xiao, double buff and very healthy.
Yeah, Wei Xiao has been fairly quiet so far in this game. And if he'd have been caught out, I feel he would have been the focus target. But instead, it was WE that went aggressive. And this time it worked out for them. They got an objective off the back of it.
They got an objective. They still lost 2 members for each other. Technically, they lost the fight, but due to the fact that Caitlyn was more healthy and due to Renekton being healthy, they could actually push down afterwards, getting objective. So in the end, they got more gold from it. But still, the team fights have been questionable for them, and that's one thing Cloud9 have been doing well. And of course, again, we have to highlight this Morgana. We saw the binding onto Anne before when she actually tried to engage. Instant binding onto her, stopped the engage, and then Wukong has to go in, even though he was on 50%, and go towards Cloud9 and just have to try and pile in for WE side.
So Cloud9 get themselves in and ward out. Check out that Baron. You can see how worried Lemonation was about being caught out going towards that bush. As it stands, he is safe. So everybody backing off, everybody buying. A lot of items coming out here. How do we gauge this one? It's 10-5 in kills, and Cloud9 do have themselves at 5,000 gold advantage.
Yeah, we need to see when Yasuo actually picks up the Infinity Edge, how much damage he can put down once he gets to the right target, because Static Shift and Infinity Edge is the 2 key items on the Yasuo. It's where he hits his power spike with having a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Wukong, we have been brutalizing, we have the Elder Lizard for damage, and he's not going towards the tank. I like that route. He can even go Black Cleaver, shred a lot of armor with his ultimate, because every time it actually deals damage, you apply a stack. And